We'd been searching for Bhima for hours, maybe longer, lost in a maze of trees and mist. The village's shadows seemed to stretch on forever, wrapping us in a suffocating embrace. We had already tried calling out for him, but there was no answer, no sign of him anywhere. At this point, we were no longer sure whether Bhima had run off into the woods out of fear, or if something far darker had claimed him. The night felt endless. We were tired, our bodies aching from the fruitless search, and the whispers in the wind seemed to mock us. The jungle was alive with a strange, otherworldly energy, and I could feel it in my bones, like a pressure building with every step we took. And then we met her, an elderly woman, one of the villagers who had stayed out of sight during our earlier days in the village. She came to us silently, almost as if the night had summoned her. We had seen her before, but there had always been an air of mystery surrounding her. Something about her presence felt both welcoming and unnerving at the same time. She told us that we were searching for something that was already lost, that the village had claimed its own, and it would never give them back. "You don't understand what you're up against," she said softly, her voice trembling with the weight of experience. "The land is ancient, and so is the curse." "Who is she?" one of my friends asked, almost afraid of the answer. We had all heard the stories whispered in hushed tones by the villagers, but no one dared to speak her name out loud. The woman's face grew darker, and she looked around as though checking to see if anyone else was listening. "Badarawuhi," she whispered, and when she spoke that name, I felt a chill run down my spine. The name sounded ancient, almost forgotten, but its weight was undeniable. "She was a dancer," the woman continued, her eyes clouded with sorrow. "Once, she was the most beautiful woman in the village. Her movements were graceful, hypnotic. A gift from the gods, they said, but that gift came at a price. She made a pact with the land, with something far older than the village itself. And when the pact was made, she became the goddess of the dance. She claimed the souls of anyone who dared to step onto her ground, turning them into her dancers, eternal, bound to her will, never to escape. She demands a new dancer every time," the woman continued. "An offering, and anyone who comes too close will be chosen. The dance never stops. Those who are chosen are cursed to dance forever, their bodies bound to the rhythm of her will. And they will never stop." I couldn't process it at first. What she was saying didn't make sense. How could something so impossible, so horrific exist? But as she spoke, the pieces began to fall into place. The strange happenings in the village, the missing people, the whispers in the night. Bhima had been the first to be taken, I realized. He had stepped into the village, unknowingly offering himself to Badarawuhi. And Ayu had followed him, trapped by the curse. Both of them now were part of the dance, trapped in the endless cycle, forever bound to the goddess. But the woman's words were even more chilling. "Only one can leave. One must remain. The ritual demands it." We all looked at each other, our faces pale, knowing that we could not leave without facing the consequences. The curse would not let us go without taking something from us. But we had to find a way to save our friends, to rescue Bhima and Ayu. But as the hours passed and the night deepened, it became clearer. There was no way to stop the curse, no way to undo what had already been done. The village was alive with Badarawuhi's power, and the ritual was in motion. Bhima and Ayu were already lost, their souls dancing to an eternal rhythm, their fate sealed in the goddess's cruel grip. It was then that the woman revealed the final truth. The land demands its sacrifice. It has already claimed Bhima and Ayu. You are free to go, but their souls are forever bound to the dance. You can leave, but they will never escape. A heavy silence fell over us. The realization hit like a wave. We had been searching for Bhima, desperate to bring him back, but it was too late. He was gone, and so was Ayu. The curse had taken them, and now we were the ones who would have to live with the consequences of our actions in this cursed land. We had trespassed in the jungle, ignored the warnings of the villagers, and now 2 of our friends were gone. Their bodies, their souls, bound forever to Badarawuhi's dance. And we were the ones left behind, cursed to live with the memory of their loss. We left the village at dawn, the mist swirling around us as we made our way back through the jungle. The path out was clearer now, but the weight of our grief was unbearable. We had survived, but at what cost? As we walked, we could still hear the music of the dance in the distance, soft at first, but growing louder the further we walked. The beat of the drum echoing in our hearts, a reminder of what we had lost. We looked back only once and saw nothing but the mist. No sign of Bhima, no sign of Ayu. The village had swallowed them whole. We never spoke of that night again. We never talked about Badarawuhi or the dance that had claimed our friends. But we would never forget. And every time I close my eyes, I can still hear the music, the rhythm of the dance, the whispers on the wind. And I wonder if one day the curse will come for me too.